Hey, how's it going? Alex here from IdeaSpot, and in today's WordPress tutorial, we're going to be using the free version of OceanWP and the free version of Elementor. We're going to be setting up a fully customized header for our blog or our e-commerce store or whichever website you're working on. I'll show you how to make a custom menu, custom logo, social icons, and we're going to make a footer. We're going to use two ways to make the footer. The first way is using Elementor. We can make a footer using that. I'll also show you how to make the footer just using OceanWP, using the standard footer, and that gives you these widget areas where you can make this really nice detailed footer. So if all this sounds interesting, keep watching. I've broken the OceanWP tutorial into 4 basic sections. So we've got the header. The header is involving the menu. So we'll learn how to add and remove sections from the menu and learn how to change these icons. We're going to add our own custom logo and customize those social icons. Then the footer, there's 2 ways. We're going to use the theme customizer and we're also going to use Elementor. So 2 different ways of doing the footer, and footer widgets using the theme customizer. So I'll teach you how to customize those widget areas. And then we're going to touch on the mobile menu a little bit as well. So keep watching. So like I said before, I am just using a OceanWP demo. You can get that through the theme panel and install demos. I'm assuming you've already installed the OceanWP theme and have that active. So if you haven't done that, just go ahead and do that. And I'm using one called Simple, and that is a basic e-commerce store for men's clothing, but you could use it to sell anything. It's such a simple design. And when you go through this install process, it'll ask you to install a few plugins, which I've already done. So just go through and you just click install on each of those and get all those plugins active. I haven't activated any of the premium add-ons. So if you're following along, you can totally do this whole tutorial just using free plugins and the free theme and free Elementor. So let's get started. All right, first thing we need to do is get to our customizer. So that is under Appearance and Customize. Once we click that, it'll take us to our customizer. Now from here, you'll find that OceanWP has loads of options you can change, and most of the things that we're going to use today are related to the header and the footer. So let's go ahead and click this little pencil right next to our logo, and we can just change our logo from here. So let's just go ahead, click Change Logo. From here, we can choose any file from our media library. I've already uploaded my logos here, but if you haven't uploaded your logo already, just go click Upload and go ahead, grab your logo, and you can just go ahead, drag that in and let it upload. Once it's uploaded, just make sure it's selected and go and click that select button. You can skip the cropping there and just keep it as a square shape for this logo because it looks good as a square, obviously. And then we're all good. We can go ahead and click publish. You can actually modify the height because this logo is actually a little bit of a bigger file. You can just tweak that, just get that however you want it. I really think this page has been designed to have a logo that looks like it's about 60. So I'm just going to leave it there as 60. So let's go ahead and publish. Okay, next thing we'll look at is our little menu here. So let's go back to our main menu. And to get to this menu here, we want to go ahead and find our menus option. So that's this option here, menus, and we've got our main menu here. So we can see we've got home, collection, blog, and contact. These are the options that you've got in the menu, so it exactly lines up. If for some reason you don't have a menu set up yet, just go back and let's do the menu locations, view all locations, and you want to make sure that main menu is set to main menu. Mine's already all good to go, but I notice sometimes when I import these sites, it doesn't have any menu, so just make sure that's set up properly. Anyway, let's get back to our main menu, and we can add items to this menu by clicking there. So to here, I might want to add any page that I've built. So let's try and add the My Account there to the menu. And that will just add it to the end of the menu. And you can actually shuffle them around just by dragging them, or you can click Reorder and do it by clicking these arrows. Up to you. The other thing you can do is remove items from the menu. So you click Add Items and these little red X's will show up. So let's say I wanted to remove collection from this menu. Just go ahead and click that, and then wait for it to refresh, and collection should be gone from that menu. So that basically wraps up how to customize that part of the menu. The other thing I noticed was there's a very faint diamond pattern in the back. I think that might be a stylistic choice, but I'm going to go ahead and remove that little background image. So that is under header, and we've got header media, I think, and then we can actually just remove that image by clicking hide image, and that'll take a minute to refresh. So after that's refreshed, you can see it's all nice and clean there. There's no background image at all there. So once you're happy with any changes, go ahead and click publish on your customizer, and that will save all the changes to the website. While we're looking at our header, let's have a look at our social icons. So let's go back to our header. This is from the main menu. You can get there just by going header, and we're going to look at this social menu. Now, if you don't like the social menu, you can just go ahead and untick that, and that'll just turn off the whole menu. Otherwise, keep scrolling down and you'll find all the links that you can add. So for example, you just put the link to the account that you're using. So for Facebook, my Facebook is ideasport.au. So I just put http facebook.com/ideasport.au, and that will make the link point to my particular Facebook. So just go ahead and fill in all the links you want. If you don't want a link, say I don't want Twitter, so I'll just delete that Twitter hash there, and that would just, when this refreshes, the little Twitter bird should disappear. So just customize that, get that how you want it to look, and then go ahead and click publish. There is one little thing we can touch on while we're still in the customizer, and this is this WooCommerce little cart icon. So this is an e-commerce theme, so it did include this nice little WooCommerce shopping cart icon. So let's go back, and we can get to that through the WooCommerce on the main menu, and it's called menu cart. And from here, you can actually change the cart icon to whatever you like, and you've got a little yellow thing that shows the count. You can change it just to have icon, or you can make it so it shows the price total that's in the cart at the moment. Have that however you like. I kind of like that little cart counter, and you can actually change that to a different kind of bag. I kind of like this bag for a men's shopping, or maybe the white one. Yeah, probably the default white one looks good. Ooh, I can't decide. This one's good. Let's go with the dark bag. So I'm fairly happy with how this is starting to look. The one thing I could do is maybe change this yellow, the hover yellow, and that yellow to something else. So let's go and see if we can find that function. So to get to this theme color, all you have to do is go to our general options from the main menu, and we're going to go to general styling. And the primary color is set there, so we can just change that. I'm just going to pick that nice blue. I think that blue is a bit more cool, and it fits more with my logo as well. So let's change it to a nice blue. So from here, we're more or less done with our header. We can actually choose different styles of header as well. If we don't like this minimalistic style, there's other options that you can go for too in OceanWP. So back in our main menu, let's go back to header, and let's look at general. And there's an option here called style, and there are several different styles included in the free version. So we can actually have a look at what these look like. So transparent, let's have a look at this one. Transparent's really quite a lovely design. So this makes the background image sit underneath of the menu. So if you've got a nice light background image and dark text and a dark icon, your actual navigation can just overlay over the top of your background image. So I really quite like that option. So if you like this look, go for the transparent style in there. The other one you can have is a top menu. We can see here with the top menu, it puts the logo nice and prominent. We might actually use a bigger logo if we were using this design. And then you've got our sub menu there, subheading, and then you've got our actual menus up the top, and our social icons are over there. So that is pretty cool as well. I think if your logo was like a much more prominent logo and you wanted to really focus on that logo, this would be a great way to do it with that top menu option. So what else have we got here? We've got full screen. Now this is super minimal. You've got your logo, and all you've got there is the hamburger menu. So on all devices, not just mobile, you can use that hamburger style menu, or even on a desktop computer. So you click that and you'll get your menu pop up there in this style. So that looks really clean. I think if you were a photography or a design style place, that might be pretty cool. Just keep everything tucked away and make everything, just focus on the cleanness and the actual content rather than having lots of navigation on your page. So just keep that one in mind. That's full screen. And we've also got center. Let's have a look at that. This one doesn't look like it's been optimized for this demo, so it looks a bit wonky, I think. I wouldn't bother using center on this particular demo, so let's just ignore that one. Let's have a look at medium. This one's nice too. It's a little bit like the top menu. Rather than having that menu at the top, it's in the middle there. You've got the logo in the center and you've got a search bar there and your icons there. So it all looks pretty well balanced. Really quite simple, good way of navigating your page. So I quite like this one as well. All of these designs are really quite nice. Vertical, I'm pretty sure this vertical one doesn't work on this demo, but I'm going to load it up anyway. Oh, no, I was wrong. A vertical menu just puts the menu on the side here. I mean, this is a bit 1990s, a bit 2000s if you were around on the web back then, when we used to always have left side menus. It's really gone out of style, but I don't see why it couldn't come back. I probably wouldn't use it, but it's there if you'd like a vertical menu on the left. Up to you. And then you can actually load a custom header if you wanted to load a custom header. So from here, you could actually choose a template. So you could design a template in Elementor and link to it from here. I've got a footer design, but I haven't got a header. I think if you're a beginner, just stick to using these pre-built headers because it saves you a lot of work. All this functionality is pretty hard to include if you're trying to build your own header. So you're going to save a lot of time. And I'm just going to stick with this minimal header for now. So that sort of wraps up the summary of the header options. So we've covered a lot of things there. There's one cool little thing that we haven't covered because we can't get to it from the customizer, but I will show you how to do it right now. It's called the menu icons. So if you don't like having text as your menu options, you can actually choose icons instead. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So we're going to head back to our WordPress dashboard and we're going to go to Appearance and Menus, and that will take you to this screen. We want to select the menu that we want to edit. By default, the main menu should be selected, but if it's not, or if you want to work on a different menu, just grab it from the drop down there and click Select. Now, by default, if we look at our menu icon settings, we'll see simple line icons are the only icon libraries we've got loaded. There's lots of different font icons you can actually load, choose more icons if you want. But for this demo, let's just have a look at our simple line icons. So let's see if we can replace some of these. So let's see if we can replace our home with an icon. So we just scroll down and we'll find one called icon there, click select, and from here we should be able to find something suitable to replace our icon with. There's a picture of a home. And from here, we can actually hide the text that says home. So at the moment it says no, we could change it to yes. If you choose it to no, then you would have a home and the word home. If you just want a picture of a home, then just choose to hide the text. So I'm going to do that. Click select. From our blog, let's have a look and see if we can find an icon for that. So let's select and let's have a look here. So we could actually have a book maybe, or that maybe a speech bubble would be good for a blog. Or a notebook maybe. I actually like the book. Let's go with the book and go ahead and select that. I do want to hide the text. I think it'll look nice just having clean, only icons. The last one was contact. Let's select an icon for that. And what would be a good thing? An envelope letter might be cool, or maybe a phone if we wanted to be a little bit more old-fashioned. I reckon the envelope letter. I think that's pretty clear what it means. So let's go with that one, and let's hide the text on that one as well. So let's go ahead and select, scroll down, and let's save that menu. I think we should be all good now. So let's go back to our actual page and let's reload the page and see what our menu looks like now. So now we've got our icons instead of text. So it was a little bit of work to get all those done, but I think that's a kind of a cool feature. And it does look very minimalistic, but I think it might make it a little bit more tricky to use the website. So I actually might rather have the text there. So let's actually go back to those menus and let's put the text back. I think that looked a little bit better. So we can just click the icon again, and instead of hiding the text, let's just say no this time and just say select there. Same with the blog. Let's go down there and let's click the icon. We're not going to hide the text. And contact, click the icon and not going to hide the text, and save that menu. So now let's go ahead and reload our page. And now we've got cool little icons next to our menu options. So I kind of like this effect. So I think we're done with our header now. Let's move on to our footer. So if we scroll right down, we can see there's 4 different columns in our footer, and they've also got this little copyright text down here. So I'm going to show you how to edit all this stuff. First thing we'll do is head back to our customizer. I might actually just reload the customizer just to make sure it lines up with everything we've just done with those menus. Okay, now let's go ahead and have a look at our footer. So let's, on our main menu here, let's go to footer widgets. So footer widgets is actually these 4 widgets here. So you can actually click the pencils to get to them. So this is footer widget number 1, contact info. This is where you just fill in your actual contact info. So, so let's come see our store. And then you could put in your address down here. So it's just a matter of scrolling through, filling out the form. You can actually change some of these things though. For example, if you had a look at the address, you can see icon, location, pin. You might actually want to change those icons. You just have to get the icon name. You can actually find the icon names just the same way we're in the simple line icons back in our menu. I was just having a look at that home one again, and I typed in pin. You can have a look at all the icons anyway. So say you wanted any of these icons, but I wanted a pin, and let's change it to this pin instead. So that one's called pin, just PIN. Go in here, instead of saying icon location pin, let's just call it icon pin. And we can see the icon will change from that into a different kind of pin. There we go. So that's the way you change any of those icons. The next thing we can change is the Instagram widget. So let's go ahead, click Instagram there, and we can actually add the tag of our own Instagram, or whichever Instagram you're working on, we can add it there. So it's men's suits at the moment. Let's just change it to something else for this demo. I'm going to put HM in there and wait for that to load. There you go, you get the idea. There's some women's clothes from H&M, but let's put it back to men's suits. Men's suits. I think that it was better for this demo anyway. So you get the idea there. Follow us. You've got all these social icons. There's no way we're going to need so many icons. So it's going to say follow us. You can actually customize the title. And then all of these icons are down here under the social links. So I'd want to get rid of Google+, probably LinkedIn and Dribbble and Vimeo, YouTube and RSS. I don't think we need that many of these things. For the most part, I might just want to use the main popular ones, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. I might even get rid of Twitter, actually. There we go. Actually, what were we using at the top there? We were using Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and not Pinterest. Where's YouTube? There we go. Okay, those are our 3 icons. Given that we've only got 3, we could actually make them look a little bit bigger just for the sake of the design. So we can go ahead and change the dimensions and the font size. So let's change that from 52 to make it say 82. And our font size, let's make it 24 instead of 14. See how that looks anyway. So there we go. That fills the space a little bit more nicely, I think. And what else have we got here? We've got newsletter. I don't think you're going to get many email signups in the footer of a website. So I don't really want this newsletter thing in here. So what have I got? I'm on, here we are, MailChimp newsletter. Now, you could actually add MailChimp to here, but like I said, I don't think I'm going to get too many email signups in my footer. So let's go ahead and let's remove that widget from there. Now we could just have the follow us there. We could add a widget, and there's lots of different widgets you could add. Let's just add, say, some custom links. Maybe it might be nice. Let's go ahead. There we go. So we've got some useful links we can add, and let's just make, say, 3. So let's just have home, and then maybe terms and conditions. And then what's the last one we could have? We'll make terms and conditions last, and let's make the about. Or maybe make a cart link here, actually. That might be cool, just so you can find your cart if you've scrolled down to the bottom by mistake. There we go. Maybe have one for our account as well. And then all you'd have to do is paste in the link. For example, I'm not going to paste all the links in here, but let's say you just wanted to put your cart link. So just grab the URL and then put the cart. Go ahead, click publish. Okay, I just did a quick reload. It's all looking pretty good. Recent posts. I kind of like this feature. If you have a blog to go with your store, you can put your recent posts down there. I think that's pretty cool as well, just to keep things looking fresh. You can also just click that and you could just change it to another widget if you wanted to as well. So totally up to you. This is one good way of keeping your footer looking nice. I'll show you another way as well in Elementor in a minute. But while we're here, let's just change this copyright information. So that is actually not in the widgets, but it is under, it's called footer bottom. And footer bottom, it just says copyright, OceanWP theme by Nick. Let's just change it to copyright idea spot. And there we go. Let's put the current year in here too, shall we? And hit publish. The other thing you could do is just totally disable the footer bottom as well. Just untick it there and that will just delete it altogether from our footer. So totally up to you. If you want like a more simple design, then go ahead and remove that footer. I might just leave it on there for this demo and let's keep working. Okay, so I showed you how to do this all through the theme customizer. Now I'm going to show you how to edit this stuff in Elementor. So let's go back and let's look at our footer widgets. So by default, we're just using our theme footer widgets, but we can actually choose a custom template to do our footer. So let's select footer callout. So this is an Elementor template. By default, I think this template is blank, but we can go ahead and design a nice little footer in Elementor and then add it to our footer. So here we go. It all looks blank. And let's go ahead and click publish. Now let's work on adding some stuff to this footer. So we're going to head back to our WordPress dashboard and we're going to go down to theme panel and it's called My Library and you'll find that footer call out there and we want to edit that in Elementor. So let's go ahead, click edit with Elementor. And Elementor will begin loading up here. Okay, so if you don't like working in that theme customizer and you just prefer to work in Elementor and design your footer, that's totally doable. Here we are in Elementor. We can totally just grab a block from Elementor for this example. And I might just grab a contact block. There's a few to choose from here. Let's just go with that nice, simple, dark one and wait for that to load up. There we go. Let's load up these social icons and see what they look like. So I don't really want Google+, I didn't want Dribble, and I didn't want Twitter. But that looks pretty cool. Let's change the color on that contact. I think that's under style. There we go. Text color. I want that to be a nice blue color. Maybe make it a light blue. That's pretty cool. Click update. What else can I do here? I don't like that green hover on those icons either. So let's go back to the icons and click style and icon hover. And let's change that to a nice light blue as well. And let's change this to a nice light blue. Okay, so what does that look like? That's better. Okay, let's click update. And let's see what this actually looks like on our website. So here's what we had before and we'll reload it and see what this looks like. So we can see by default the footer is in this container and it's not full width. I'm just going to show you how to make this full width, but if you like the container, you can just leave it like this. But anyway, to do this, let's go back to our customizer. There's a couple of steps here. You can see under footer widgets, the padding is 30 pixels on the top and 30 pixels on the bottom. We can remove those, hit publish. And the actual width, I had to actually Google for this. So OceanWP has a little bit of CSS code to make the footer widgets full width. You can just copy that bit of code there and go back to our customizer. And we can actually see in this demo site, they've put some custom CSS that limits the footer width to 1280 pixels. We can just go ahead and paste in that new code. And I'd recommend deleting the old code in there as well. So we've got 100% footer width. So that sort of wraps up the footer section. All we have to cover now is the mobile menu. So let's head back to the main menu on our customizer and let's go to our header and look at our mobile menu. So we can actually look at the mobile view on the customizer. So here's our mobile view and we can click the mobile menu. That's what we've got. We've got our menu. It's exactly the same as our main menu. We've got the social icons and we've got our search bar. We can tweak a few things here. There's not a lot to change. If we scroll down, we can actually change a few things. We can like turn off the mobile menu search, for example. As you can see, that search box is gone now, but there's really not a lot to do here. It really just mirrors what the actual main menu does. The one thing I might actually change is the size of these icons and the size of the text, because I feel like it's a little bit small for this design. So let's go back and let's scroll back to our main menu. From here, we want to go to typography, and we're going to go to our main menu. And from here, we've got our font size, so we can actually change that font size up. Let's make it 16, for example, and there we go. So we can see on mobile it's 16. On the main view, we're using the default. We could make it 16 here as well. So let's put 16 pixels there. So that's a little bit bigger. Let's hit publish. I think this is looking pretty cool. So hopefully this has been useful. Just hit thumbs up if it's been good so far and you've had a bit of fun watching. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's see if we can actually change those social icons and make them the same sort of size. So let's go back and let's go and find our social icons. Where are those under again? So we have to scroll back and we want to go to the header and the social menu. And it was all about just choosing the font size. So I think we were using size 16 for our icons. And I think that's made them a little bit bigger, has it? There we go. 16, it looks like to be the right size to match up. I really feel like these icons are a little bit different, so maybe we want them a little bit bigger. Let's go 20. So that looks pretty good now. So let's hit publish. So there we go. Let's head back to our page and let's actually just reload a whole page and see what it looks like. So now we're all done. Fully customized menu, customized icons. We made them a little bit bigger. We added icons to the top menu there. We added our own logo and we changed that bag a little bit as well. Down the bottom, we did a full custom footer in Elementor, but we also know how to use the OceanWP widget options as well. If you like that design, that was a very detailed design if you want to keep working on that as well. So, and we changed that little copyright info to our own company as well there. So all looking really nice. Let's have a look at it on the mobile view as well. So there we go, looking pretty decent. We can click menu, we've got our mobile menu. So that basically wraps it up. I hope this has been useful and you've made some progress in your OceanWP skills. I know Ocean is one of the most full-featured themes for Elementor and just for using WordPress in general. I really love it because there's so much to learn, there's so much to do. It might be a little bit daunting for beginners, but once you get used to using WordPress and you get to learn your way around these menus, there's so much you can actually do. It's really good and it's very helpful for some of those picky clients who want to change tiny little details and tiny little sizes of things. There's so many things you can change. So make sure you click subscribe because I'm going to come back with new WordPress and Elementor tutorials every week. So stay tuned for those, but hope you've enjoyed it and I'll see you next time.